Steve canUsayCHEESE for the video, and yes, my hair is red. That is different. Now, today what we're going to be talking about is one of my favorite pieces of animation that's out there right now, American Dad. You guys should definitely go check it out. It's on TBS. I think they're doing like a season break. But basically what we're going to be talking about is the gold and gem and diamond encrusted turd. Now, for those of you who don't know, it's an underlining underlining storyline that takes place over the entirety of American Dad, and it basically starts where it's in season 2, I believe, episode 3. Roger takes a crap at a power plant, and they're like, oh, well, that sucks, and they walk away, but they don't know that it's a golden turd with diamonds and gems and stuff inside of it. It's pretty hilarious. And basically from then on, we have this storyline of, it starts off with 2 electricians who arrive on the scene. They're like kind of first responders, but they're not really first responders. And they go to fix the power plant, but one of them finds it, and he's like, hey, man, we're going to be rich. We're going to be rich forever. And his friend, overcome with like hate and greed and jealousy, bashes his brains in with the turd, and basically goes on, and he ends up killing himself. I don't mean to laugh at that, but it's kind of like, wow, that's pretty heavy, you know. It's pretty heavy to have on your chest, kill your best friend. But he ends up killing himself, and like the detectives who arrive at the crime scene to see what happened, one of them finds the turd, and I'm pretty sure he kills his partner. I can't remember, the details, a little fuzzy. I watched the video last night. Like, I've seen the entirety of American Dad. I have no life. But basically, the detective goes home to his wife, and his wife is like, wow, we could rule the world with this. We could do whatever we want with this. Little Bill Cosby in there. No, but basically, he's like, I can't believe what I've done. I've taken a piece of evidence. I have to return this. And his wife ends up killing him. And then we flash forward a couple seasons to his wife. Actually, season 13, I believe. His wife is basically like gets arrested, and she is sentenced to the death penalty by lethal injection. And her son is watching, and he's completely oblivious to the golden turd. And he takes a phone call and goes back home to his parents' old house. And while he's rummaging around in his old room, he basically finds his old, like, under his bed, and like looks around, and like he finds a panel of wood, and he pulls it up, and there's the golden turd. Now, what we don't know beforehand is that he's a senator. I believe it's either that or he's running for Senate. And basically what happens is he gets a phone call from this company that's like really, really shady, and like they like chemical waste dumping and stuff like that. And they promise investments, and initially he's like, no, I'm not going to do this. And he finds a turd, and he's like, hey, yo, Ma, let me get that number. But, I'm a nerd. But, basically, what happens is he gets the number of the person, like, and then, like, we flash forward to him being, running for president. And, as he's, like, done with a big campaign speech, he goes back to one of his back offices, and a political advisor of his comes in, and he's like, hey, man, they know about the scandals, they know about your Watergate, no, but they know about your scandals, and pretty soon the information's gonna get out there. And basically he sees the turd, and he's like, hey, what is that? I want that. And he's like, and the guy running for president is like, no, this is mine. And they get into a fight, and his political advisor ends up bashing his brains, and basically he does a curb stomp, which is kind of hilarious. But like, morbid sense of humor, but not like in the hilarious. But when you get curb stomped with a turd, it's hilarious. But basically he curb stomps him, and then the presidential representative running, whatever you want to call him, running party Republican, I don't know. But basically his bodyguards come in, and they kill his advisor, and later, as they're cleaning up the mess of the 2 dead bodies, a maid finds the golden turd, and it turns out that she's like affiliated with all the world's religions, and she ends up taking it to like a hub, and all the world's religious leaders are there, and they're like, what do we do? This has to be this showing of the rapture's coming, basically. And it shows a picture of Roger, like, doing the, you know, the, what's it called, Egyptian dance. And, yeah. But let's flash back a second, because there are 2 episodes that I want to focus 3. There are 2 episodes that I want to focus on in this video. Now, let's first focus on the episode, can't remember the exact name of it, but it's the one where Jeff adopts the kid Nemo. Now, for those of you who don't know, Nemo is Omen backwards, which is hilarious considering Jeff named him. But Nemo is the Antichrist, the son of Satan and a jackal. And basically gets excommunicated from the Catholic Church, and because he beats up Jesus dressed as Santa Claus. I love the American Dad Christmas episodes, they're hilarious. Basically, he gets excommunicated from the Catholic Church, and he wants to get back in, so he either can donates $10 million to a charity of his choice, or kills the Antichrist. And so basically he decides to kill the Antichrist, and he finds out that who the Antichrist is. It's his grandson. And basically he tries to kill Nemo, and by the end of the episode Haley has enough of it. Steve gets possessed. It's pretty hilarious. And he starts speaking Latin. It's great. I believe it's Latin. It's either Latin or Hebrew. I can't remember. Back to the topic at hand. She sends him off to Sarah Palin, and this is when I believe it comes after Rapture's Delight, but this is when we get our first glimpse of the Antichrist as a boy. And she sends him off to Sarah Palin. And yeah, and he lives with her, and I'm assuming she raises him. And excuse me. From there, we start let's go to Rapture's Delight. The rapture occurs, Stan loses Francine, and the Antichrist takes over. Basically what happens is Roger and Tito, I think his name is, can't remember. He's the Asian, he's a Korean chef, I believe he is. Vietnamese or Korean chef from the episode Stan's Family Restaurant or something like that. But basically, Tito, I believe, I think his name is Tito. I don't know what his name is. It's kind of I don't know. But no, oh my gosh, I can't remember. But anyway, him and Roger are trying to start up Roger's alien ship, spaceship, to get back to Roger's home world before the world ends, really, because if the universe ended, it wouldn't make any sense. Huh, that wouldn't make sense at all. Anyway, before I unravel my entire theory, Roger's basically you know what, you would need a diamond-encrusted golden turd to start my ship back up, and Jesus pulls it out. And let's think back for a second. If you have all these religious leaders together, and they're we have to, and get this to, I guess Jesus, that's what I'm assuming they're talking about. And when he gives him the turd, when Jesus gives Roger the turd, he says, "My disciples have given this to me," which means that episode is canon. Now, a lot of people assume because at the end of the episode Rapture's Delight, Stan ends up going into his own personal heaven, and that it's the same episode that the series just reboots. But let's consider for a second, let's take the Golden Turd storyline and say that the first episode featuring the Golden Turd, let's just assume that is the first episode of American Dad, regardless of what comes first, in means of episode airing. Let's assume that the Golden Turd Saga beginning, season 2, episode 3, is the first episode of American Dad. From then on, the ending of American Dad is Rapture's Delight. And that is because the story of the Golden Turd ends when it's returned to its owner and then destroyed, I believe. But yeah, so basically, that's the end of American Dad. When Stan dies and goes to his personal heaven, there's nothing from that point on. I'm assuming the day just repeats itself since it's his heaven and he's spending Christmas with his family. Meaning we can assume that every episode of American Dad is canonical, aside from the tearjerkers, I say. Those are just novels. But every episode of American Dad is canonical, and then you get up to that point, the series has already ended itself. Mind blown. Yeah, the series has ended itself. So regardless of if American Dad gets canceled, if they just stop airing it, which is canceled, if Seth MacFarlane ends it, it's over. They've already ended the series. As soon as Stan dies at the end of Rapture's Delight, that is the end of the series. They return the Golden Turd back to Jesus. Jesus gives it back to Roger, and the world ends. And that's how American Dad ends. Hope you guys enjoyed this theory. Drop a big old Steven bomb on that like button if you did. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button. Peace, guys. If you enjoyed, if you want more theories like this, like drop a comment down in the section below saying I want more theories. And give me your thoughts on this. What do you think? Do you think that this is the end of American Dad? I personally do. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is canUsayCHEESE signing out. Peace, guys.